Welcome to 10-5, the official podcast of the OPP Association. My name is Scott Mills.
And I'm Emily Brown, and we are the Strategic Communications Coordinators for the OPP Association, and your host for the 10-5 podcast, the official podcast of the OPP Association. The OPPA is the sole bargaining agent for the close to 10,000 members of the Ontario Provincial Police in Canada. Our members are our focus and our strength, and we aim to provide important information to our members and the public about matters that affect policing in the province of Ontario.
Well, thanks for that, Emily. And today we welcome back one of our regular contributors to the podcast here. And we're grateful to have OPPA Director Lynn Neale with us today. And we're going to discuss the 25th anniversary of the Ontario Police Memorial Ceremony of Remembrance. So welcome back, Lynn.
Thanks, Scott and Emily. Great to be here. Always a pleasure to be invited and join the two of you.
Welcome back, Lynn. So you've joined us today to talk about the upcoming Ontario Police Memorial. And we're hoping you can give us some background on your roles with the OPP Association and your role with the board with the Police Memorial Foundation.
Happy to explain. So first thing before we go any further is everybody needs to mark their calendars. The 25th Annual Ontario Ceremony of Remembrance will be on Sunday, May 5th. 2024 at 11 a.m. at Queen's Park Circle. Tragically, this year we will be adding two of our OPPA members to the Ontario Police Memorial. OPP Sergeant Eric Mueller was shot and killed in the line of duty in the early hours of May 11th, 2023 in Bourget, Ontario. His family will be present as his name is formally added to the memorial. We will also be adding OPP Detective Constable Stephen Tourangeau, who died when his police vehicle collided with a school bus near Woodstock, Ontario on May 29, 2023. The school bus driver also tragically died in that collision. Stephen's family will be present at the ceremony while his name is being added to the memorial. We will be adding two historical names this year, Chief Edward Lavery of the town of Prescott and Detective Thomas Whitelaw of Metropolitan Toronto Police. Back to the original question. The Ontario Police Memorial Foundation was started as a collaboration a number of years ago, 25 years ago to be exact. The OPMF, as we call it, is a charitable foundation that was formed by the Police Association of Ontario, the OPP Association, the Toronto Police Association, the Ontario Senior Officers Police Association, or OSAPA, and the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police. The foundation is responsible for the management of the memorial, which includes adding names of fallen officers whenever that's required. Tragically, we've had to add too many names over the last couple of years. The foundation hosts the yearly Ceremony of Remembrance, which is always held on the first Sunday in May each year. So currently the board of directors consists of Jason Tomlinson from the Toronto Police Association, and he is the president. Colin Woods is the vice president, and he represents the Police Association of Ontario. We have Frank Bergen from the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police. We have Carl Mattinen from York Regional Police. He represents OSAPA, the Ontario Senior Officers Police Association, and myself as the representative with the OPPA. As a founding member, the OPP Association has always had a representative on the board of directors, and I am honored to be that representative now. Prior to me, Mike Adair was a director and OPMF president, and he is currently still a director at the OPP Association. We've had a number of OPPA members contribute. One of note is Dave Brown, who is a founding life member. Dave served from 1998 to 2004 and has been the unofficial historian for a number of years. He researches historical names to be added to the wall, which is often really a time-consuming task that goes unrecognized. Our own Marilyn Thompson from head office was involved for years in the planning and execution and was instrumental in assisting the survivors connecting with each other before the creation of the Survivors of Law Enforcement group. So many people from so many different organizations have contributed to the Police Memorial Foundation, and ultimately we all have the same goal, which is honoring our Ontario police officers who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. We can never do enough for the families, the friends, and the colleagues that are left behind, but this is just one way to ensure that they truly feel that they are still part of the Blue family and they are still being recognized, and their loved ones aren't forgotten.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Lynn. I think it's important that the history's out there. There's been a lot of work over the past 25 years to get this memorial, and it definitely is something to see, and it really honors our fallen officers, and reminds the families every year that they're not left behind. And I know the ceremony has a personal significance for you, and you attend every year. And if you're willing, are you able to share your personal connection?
Absolutely. It's interesting that you asked that, because what I've found over the years is people are really hesitant to ask and worry that asking is going to be a problem. And I think it's so important that any of us that have been personally touched are willing to share our stories when it's right. It takes a long time to get in a position where you're able to share. But, as you know, Scott, I was involved in a serious collision, left me seriously injured, and took the life of my partner in Elgin County on July 6, 2009. Tragically, that day we lost OPP Provincial Constable Alan Hack, a friend and a colleague. And each year, I still honor Alan. I connect with his fiance, his dad. It's so important that we keep those connections and ensure that the families are not forgotten, and they know they always have that place in our blue family. I've had the honor of assisting so many families immediately or, just through the memorial process. And the message is always the same, that they will never be forgotten and we will never forget their loved ones. And in talking to one of the widows last year, their big fear is that they will be forgotten and once everything is done. So we make a real point of connecting with each of them, of making sure that they realize that we are going to be there. We have OPPA members who have lost family members in the line of duty, and they attend every year. And we need to ensure that those families, regardless of what patch they wear, what service they come from, how long it's been, that they never doubt our unwavering support. As you know, we have Barbara Irwin, who is the widow of Michael Irwin, and she's been over 50 years honoring her husband. Obviously, not that long at the provincial memorial, but she attends the memorial every year. I think it's so important, and I really can't stress it enough, that particularly our new members, people who have never attended, that they realize just how much it means to the families that we show up every year, that we take the time out of our schedules and just be there and let them know not only will their loved ones never be forgotten, but they won't be forgotten.
So clearly the memorial is very significant for the families of the now 277 names of the Ontario police officers who have died in the line of duty in Ontario. For somebody who hasn't been there in a while, or maybe is thinking of coming for the first time, can you share with us what happens at this ceremony?
Absolutely. It is an incredible sight to behold when you see all of the people gathered together, all of the different police services. We form up near the ROM and march from there around Queen's Park to the memorial site. And we have police pipe bands, thousands of uniformed police officers, not only from Ontario, but Canada, the USA. We've had people from Europe attend, and we all march along Queen's Park Crescent and arrive at the Wall of Honor before 11 a.m. for the official start of the annual Ceremony of Remembrance. Guests of honor will include the Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, the Honourable Edith Dumont, the Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Doug Ford, and families of the fallen officers. It's an incredible sight when you see the ceremony, the people standing guard. There is the laying of wreaths, there's a firing party, we have so much going on, and for anybody who attends, there is a free barbecue afterwards, so, make sure we fuel the bodies after everybody's been there and stood on a guard for a bit. For members of the public who are not able to attend in person, the ceremony is live streamed on the official OPMF YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitter platforms. And we have social media links to the service and additional details that will be posted on the official blog of the OPMF. You can follow the link ceremonyofremembrance.ca and see what we're doing there. But I really encourage as many people as possible to come out in person and show their support for our families.
Well, thanks, Lynn. You gave a very vivid description of everything. It is quite impressive. And I was just watching last year's again today, and I was just, wow, that was really amazing. I've attended for years. One thing that you didn't mention was that before the ceremony at 10 o'clock, if you want to get there earlier, there's always 2 officers that are in training at the Ontario Police College that are invited, and they read the entire honor roll of 277 officers that are on the wall. And 4 more this year is going to be 281. Way too many, but they read every name. It's quite impressive. And that is actually, if you go on to the YouTube account for the Ontario Police Memorial Foundation, you can watch prior events on there. And just one thing to note, there's always a marathon in downtown Toronto on the same day. So Lynn, I'm throwing this over to you. How do you best get down there and not get stuck in traffic?
Well, that is a really good point to make, Scott. The area around the memorial is closed off at 9 a.m. There will be no vehicular traffic allowed to get back into that memorial area. But more importantly, to your point, there is a marathon going on that day. And they start shutting down the streets of Toronto at 7 a.m. So if you are driving in that day, you need to come early, need to arrive early, use as much transportation as you can. If you can use, the GO train to get in there, the subway, the Queen's Park subway stop is within easy walking distance. I know it's tough for some of our members because they're arriving in uniform, so they like to get a little closer. You can always come in the night before. That's typically, I'm there for the rehearsal the day before, so I'm always in there the night before. But even when I wasn't part of the foundation, I tended to come the day before, have the hotel room so you can get dressed nice and close to the ceremony site, and then just wander down with different groups. But yeah, really need to leave yourself lots of time because it gets busy in Toronto that day.
So you mentioned the rehearsal very briefly there, Lynn. Can you describe what happens at the rehearsal?
Yeah, thanks, Emily. So the rehearsal starts the day before to make sure we try and run as smoothly as possible. There's a lot of moving pieces. Shout out to our planning committee who come from all different police services, and they all come together that day to make sure everything runs smoothly. But what nobody sees behind the scenes is we spend months and months and months prepping ahead of time, and everybody making sure they know what the other, sort of pieces are doing as we move together. So on the Saturday, we show up, get everything set up for, as Scott mentioned, the live streaming, and we also do the practicing for the laying of the wreaths, because there's honor guards who come together who have never worked together, and then we give the firing party a chance to get situated and make sure, there's always last minute adjustments for where people are going to stand and move. And we have the choir that comes in. We have the band that comes in and plays for us. We're going to have the Indigenous drummers will be there. Prior to the service this year, we're going to have a smudging ceremony. There's just a lot going on, and everybody's going to set up. Our MC this year is actually one of our former board members, Graham Beverly, and he'll be there. Just, again, we all get our key points and make sure we have our timing correct so things run as smoothly as possible for the families.
Yeah, it's actually a fun day. It's a lot of work.
It really is. Wear your sunscreen, though.
Yeah, it tends to be a nice day, hopefully. So, Lynn, in years past, there's always kind of been some social events, some more formal than others on the Saturday. Is there anything planned for this year?
Well, we're in the planning stages of everything right now, so nothing official sort of on the books just yet, but stay tuned for more details. As you mentioned, Scott, we've done it several years where we have the Saturday evening social, the families come, the colleagues come, and it's just a really great night. We try and find a place just for us, so there's no worries about privacy and safety. And so the survivors of law enforcement will be having their retreat again this weekend. Shout out to York Regional Police Association for hosting and looking after them. And yeah, so we're hoping to meet with them and see them again. And of course, we're going to see everybody on this Sunday.
Hoping lots of people can attend. So Lynn, is there any funding for our membership to attend?
So there is. If you are an OPPA member, you can complete an application for funding that you can find on our OPPA members only website, oppa.ca. The link will be in the show notes. And on there, it's an assistance. We want as many people to come as possible. And we know, everybody's circumstances are different. And if you need that assistance just to, make it a little bit easier to get there, some of our people come from great distances. So anything we can do that sort of helps encourage people or allow people the opportunity to get there, that's what we're going to do. So I encourage you to reach out on the website, look at what's available to you, and we'll see you there.
That's really good that you note that. And I think there's a cutoff deadline or something like that. So make sure if you're listening to this to go and check that out sooner than later. And also, if you're a family member out there, there is a master list of family members for these 277 names, going to be 281 names on this wall. And it's always a bit of a moving target because people move and things like that. So if you're a family member of a fallen officer and you're not receiving an invitation for this event, please reach out to us here at communications at oppa.ca, and we'll connect you with the proper people so that you can get your invitation. So, and if there's also a thing, we have a new website here at the OPPA, and we've been trying to get all of our membership, which is like almost 10,000 people, to sign up for the new members only website. So if that's where this particular form is going to be, and if you're having problems accessing that, please email us at oppa@oppa.ca. And our amazing receptionists at OPPA head office in Barrie, Julie and Dawn, they will assist you to get signed on to our website and help you navigate around there for a little bit. So, Lynn, we're nearing the end of our podcast episode for this week, and we thank you so much for joining us and especially sharing your personal connection. It's quite meaningful to hear that. And do you have any last words?
Just thank you for, again, highlighting the importance of the ceremony, particularly this year with it being the 25th anniversary. We would really like to see, record numbers attending. We've had so many losses over the last couple of years, and it just means so much to the families. I want to give a shout out to the rest of the Ontario Police Memorial Foundation board, all of their hard work, the planning committee, of which, Scott, I know you are a part of, so thank you. We all work together to it's all about the families and the loved ones that they've lost. So I just want to encourage people as much as possible as you can. I know the OPP, operationally permitting, encourages their people to attend as well. So get the uniform out, get it cleaned up, make sure everything fits the way it's supposed to, and hope to see everyone there. And to our civilian members out there, we would love to see you out there. You are part of this family and you are so valued. And business attire is the order of the day. Make sure you wear good shoes because it's a bit of a march. But I would just love to see every member of this police family out there supporting the loved ones that have lost someone. And
thanks to Tanis Hurst. She keeps us all together. This wouldn't happen without Tanis at the Toronto Police Association. So thanks so much.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, Scott. Tanis is our executive lead, and she is fantastic.
Well, thank you so much for being part of this talk today, Lynn. Really appreciate it. And just to reiterate, all are welcome to come. General public, uniform, non-uniform. Members of the police family are welcome to come to march in or out of uniform. Members should be wearing their number 1 dress uniform and watch OPP orders for the exact order of dress for the day. And if you're a listener from another police service, please watch your service's routine orders for the dress orders of the day. You have been listening to OPPA Director and Ontario Police Memorial Foundation Board Member Lynn Neale, today chatting about the 25th anniversary of the Ontario Police Memorial Ceremony of Remembrance being held at Queen's Park in downtown Toronto on May 5th, starting at 11 a.m. Thanks for listening today. If you like what you hear, a new episode of the 10-5 podcast is published every other Friday morning on the podcast platform of your choice. All episodes are also on the OPPA website, which is oppa.ca. Until next time, thanks for listening and stay safe.